What's happening, Vault Hunters and fantasy fans? We are back here in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and we are about to go into the Dreamvale Overlook. This is the area where you access the DLC for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. The DLC is not very comprehensive. I think a lot of people were very disappointed. I've held off for a very long time, knowing that this wasn't what I was expecting. And what you have here is really an extension of the Chaos Chamber activities, which means you have a series of arenas and then a boss at the end. And you have here a... Sorry, my looting habits are getting the better of me. So you have here Vesper, who is kind of the carnival master. This is a sort of carnival that has sort of rolled into the overworld. And although this all looks very cool, you don't actually go anywhere near any of this or do any of this. So this is just a little hub area for us, where we have these 4 interactive posters. And each of these is a different kind of story, different series of encounters with a boss at the end. And these have 4 different difficulty modes. So you can do each of them 4 times. And then they each get sort of progressively a little bit more difficult. The boss will have new attacks, new kind of things that they will do. So there's a bit of variety there, but it's certainly not massive. We are going to dip into that. When you do this as well, you also have a new currency, which is basically the same as the rainbow coins from the Chaos Chamber, where this time you have lost souls. And the lost souls will drop from defeating enemies, doing certain little extra objectives and all the rest of that. And then you can bring them here to the Wheel of Fate. And the Wheel of Fate is just a random number generator. You just stick in your 25 lost souls, and it will spin the wheel of fortune. And then you will get whichever one of these it lands on. It will spit out a bunch of weapons or a bunch of random mixed items. The kind of customization things for your character, like the heads and clothing, colors, all that sort of stuff. The rings, jewelry, shields, all of that. Like, just you spin the wheel and you get more loot. And that's really where you're getting your main rewards from this particular activity. Vesper's kind of cool. I may be wrong on this, because I know they did it in the Redux, which is like a modded version of the game. But I was really expecting Vesper to end up being a boss at the end of all of this. I haven't really done these encounters that much. I have tried each of them. So we are going in here, not totally blind, but it's still pretty new to me. Oh, attune yourself to the Wheel of Fate. Okay. Okay, so we just got 50 straight off the bat, so we can see how the Wheel of Fate works. And that's just going to spit me out some goodies. And my pockets are full, as always. Let's go and deal with that quickly. And we will sell anything that is not bright orange. Still a little bit all over the place with my character. I'm jumping between a lot of different games at the moment, just trying to re-engage with the Borderlands and Wonderlands games. So I'm currently doing simultaneous playthroughs of Borderlands 1, 2, 3, and Wonderlands, obviously. I've also now started doing a Tales from the Borderlands playthrough. I've decided that as much as I'm not so keen on that content, I am going to try and engage with everything Borderlands, even stuff outside of the main franchises, in terms of, you know, maybe some like little things they put into other games. Anything Borderlands we will be looking at on this channel. And just trying to get a blue cake. I feel like I am definitely out of touch with guns and such in the game, but I feel like blue cake was maybe a naughty gun at some point that required a bunch of nerfing. So we'll give that a go. Sorry, I'm just going to finish procrastinating, and we will go into our first series of encounters, which is the COILED Captors, which was the first one that was released. I mean, as if I need the money. That's how this game gets you, man. And I love it and hate it for that. Right, okay, let's get on with this. So, this is it, COILED Captors. So, you'll go over here and interact. At the moment, I only have the first difficulty because I haven't done it on here at all. I've only played this mode on a console version of the game at the moment. So we have an extra objective to find 2 soul chests hidden in every room as we go through. My experience with this is a little finicky. Like, I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, whether they've had some issues as well. But I don't know. Maybe it's my awareness. I'm going to skip this. That's something you can check out in your own time. We're just going to get on with the gameplay. But yeah, I had rooms where I couldn't find all the chests, and I was unsure exactly how it was divided in some cases, because not every room is equally sized. Like this this initial area. Excuse me. Got a cable right on my way down here. So this is more like a kind of a lobby room. Like, this one doesn't even feel like a full... It's not a proper arena. After this one, we'll go into ones where it's a little bit more full and there's more enemies and such. But yeah, so I had some times where I definitely couldn't find as many chests as it seemed like I should have had. And these are random. They do seem to have set places that they can appear, but they're not always in the same place. At least not as you change difficulty. So maybe they're the same. Right. Let's see what we can do. Right, let's have a look at that blue cake gun. Certainly doesn't look like a cake. I mean, if it is, it's a very dangerous looking cake. And doesn't look like a particularly tasty looking cake either, but... and I guess this is like an LMG kind of gun? Or is it a rocket launcher? Okay, that works. What exactly is it doing? I mean, it's doing everything. Nope. Don't unlike that. My controller's dying, I swear. What are you doing? I think that's Epic Games trying to get hold of me. Blue Cake of Mania. I'm more of a brownie person, actually. A bunch of extra gun damage, fire rate, area damage radius. Okay, so it's a big boy for just spamming it out. Unlimited magazine size. Weapon heats up and... Oh, right, okay, yeah. Okay, so... It's basically... It's just a toned-down Northfleet. Okay. I'm good with that. Oh, yeah, except for that bit. But you always got to watch that with the big hitters. Okay, I'm going to save that more as a get-up gun. And I think I'm going to switch out some of my things, because I did a Chaos Chamber the other day on this character, which is my level 40, excuse me, Wildfire, which is a cross between the Clawbringer and the Spore Warden. And we are going to just change some of these guns because I was using a lot of these bits of kit the last time I came on. We got something pistol-wise. Liquid cooling. Great bow. Gluttony of the Carver. I feel like this is probably a good gun. That rings a bell. The treetop we were using a heck of a lot last time. Yep, sure, try that. I think if we got this blue cake thing on, then we're kind of covered. And I definitely don't want a pistol in that slot, so let's go for something. I'm literally so out of a loop. Sure. Wait, is that the same type of gun that I just literally took off? Right, okay, so we got some small little key sequencing that you have to do as you go through here. just to select the shark. This is all shark orientated. We are heading towards what is referred to as the old god, which is basically just a drug trip shark. It's just a crazy shark. I think sea warg, another way they called those. Dogfish. But yeah, so we're going to be heading towards a big nasty shark. And it did seem pretty cool. The as you go up in the difficulties of these, they do ramp up the bosses, so that they have different attacks, and you know, you have to sort of just deal with things a bit more. This was, out of the ones I've looked at the most, well, sorry, this is the one I've looked at the most, and it didn't seem like the boss variation was that much. It definitely got more attacks and more things going on, but the second one I did, which I haven't completed yet, it definitely seemed like... Okay, yeah, wow, this gun is very good. That's pretty cool. It seemed like the boss variation and such on the other one I'd done was more, and it definitely felt more challenging. I haven't seen a single one of the actual chests I need yet for these 2 chests. If you see them, shout me. I mean, it won't be any good anymore, but you can always stick a timestamp in. If you see me swinging my head around and somehow I completely miss it, you can be like, it was at this timestamp, numbnuts. Because I haven't seen them at all. Not that I'm looking crazy hard, and I'm not going to spend forever doing that anyway, because that probably won't be that entertaining. And I will be doing different runs of these. I'll probably do a mixed run of these. I'll probably do a single one just so you can dip in and just see the boss on its own. And then I'll probably do one where I do all 4 runs for each story on a trot. Okay, so we've got the same thing here. The snake bit is on that side, so I want the sharks all facing that way under the little light. This very interesting shooting pattern. I've got some weird stuff going on with my system at the moment. It seems like it's chugging quite a lot, so I hope that's not coming through on the recording. There we go, so that's all those done, and that will now descend into the floor. Oh, no, it's not. Now it's done.
The column moved. Do that again.
Yes, ma'am. Still no chests. Take that. So these are the little souls, the little pink gems on the floor.
Behold.
If I'm a little bit scatty today, it's because I've been ill and just kind of getting my energy back. I haven't been able to do any recording or anything in quite a while. It's very exciting. Apparently I did this one on accident, or has that one not showed up yet? There should be a totem thing there, but I guess somehow I've completed that. One more in the middle here. Oh, didn't reload that. Naughty boy. Don't think so. This is quite a contrast because the when I've played this mode before, which is only in the last few days, it's been on console on a fresh character. So the first time I did this, it was only at level I guess maybe when I first came into here, maybe level 20, maybe, with a lot less gear. I have, through course of doing this, ended up with a lot more gear, which has been nice. but yeah, this feels a lot easier, despite the fact that this is at the maximum level for the game, level 40, which seems backwards. I feel like this should be challenging me more, not less. Not having much luck on these chests. I kind of feel like maybe the chat months after this has happened is lighting up going, "You stared at it." Oh, there we go. So there we go, so we get a few more souls. I mean, those are fun. There isn't really anything cosmetic, I don't think, for me to pick up. Unless there's anything from the DLCs that's specific to this. Which I guess there must be some, but...
Even gods need their thirst quenched.
We found that one chest, so I'm definitely going to search this area and try and find the second one. Oh, what? I thought I triggered that. Oh. Okay.
Pour one out for everyone.
Oops. Sorry, fun guy.
Yes, just as we practiced.
What's in that chest? I've not seen it yet. Let's hide behind there. Oh, there it is. I don't know why. I thought this was just a normal chest over here. Right, some more souls. Just going to do a little pass over. They're not staying reloaded? I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, I just thought I'd run around here because I thought there was a couple of deaths that happened that might have meant there was a bit more to pick up. Those are very much sort of one at a time. You can see the bottom right there. I got that 49, so that's where we are at the moment. So that's 2 extra spins on the wheel. I think that only gives me 1, yeah. So it's very small amount, but then you do get quite a lot back with those spins. Whoa. Not too sure on this saw blade thing. Not really so much my style. That's the one we were running earlier. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I've had this gun before. I have 2 there. Imp of Alarm. What's that made? Maybe that was the one I had on earlier. That's Slicer. That's about have I got a shotgun in here? Yes, I have got a shotgun. Oh, that's the arrows one that I had. Oh, fine. Now I'm just wasting lots of time. That'll do. Stick a sniper on. Get stuck on the scenery. Continually. I guess that always does an animation to do kind of a reload when you get it out, maybe. This gun's pretty fun. I like this this one. Blazing volleys of the murky depths. Cool. That works as well. What's that actually doing for a shot? Oh, it's a double. It's a two-fang. You like that? Another chest.
I think that would bring the flowers. the fungus.
Second chest, anyone? There we go. That'll do, pig. Ooh. Oh, so okay. Right, so I can't actually tap shot with that. This is actually doing a charged burst. So scoped in or regular, it just takes a moment, just a second, and then does that little kind of volley. That feels pretty different. I like that. A little bit unique. Can't recall any other one feeling like that. What we got here? Twister for a 6. Well, we've had that just drop, so we're gonna just equip that and give it a go. Twister sounds fun. Unleash the whirlwind. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Me likey. So many of the guns and bits and pieces in this game are just a lot of fun. They got their own kind of little kind of vibe to them. And that's something that is really good as I'm re-examining all of the Borderlands games at the moment. I am really kind of finding that a lot of the stuff over time that has changed, that maybe I felt funny about a lot of it, I'm feeling a lot more forgiving. And I'm actually really finding with Borderlands 3, and particularly this, there is a lot with the guns and the mobility and the sort of, you know, all the magic stuff, everything that is just, it's actually feeling really, really good. And I'm actually really excited for a Borderlands 4, and this game is the one that, although it's quite different than the Borderlands games, there's you know, there's quite a lot of things here that give us an indication of where they're going, where they're thinking with stuff. Some of that's good, some of that's bad, but I think majoritively, I think it's very good. And particularly just the gun variety in this and the bits of kit that they have thrown in. Just make it a lot of fun. If only this game had had more to the DLC. With a Borderlands game, you normally expect after launch, and you expect the game to be very sizable in the first place, to have a lot going on and already have end content available. But you expect, they normally do 4 DLCs, 4 main DLCs at minimum, that will drop, when combined are effectively the size of like a whole other game. They double the size of your content, and normally do quite a lot to increase on your endgame activities, therefore just, you know, helping the game to have a good life and sort of progress forward. They can do tidy up the stuff, and then sort of see where people are going with things and really expand on the experience that people are already enjoying. And that's been very good for the best part. Like Borderlands 1, 2 and 3 all did that very well. 2 I think did it the best, but 2 got not only the 4 big main DLCs, but then they also had Headhunter packs, which they did 5 of, which were very, very cheap. I think they were only like £3 or something, and the amount of content you got there was far more than I've seen in, for example, a Destiny season or anything like that. You got a whole other area with a bunch of things to go, like to do, and then new story, and then often new bosses, new gear. But yeah, so you had those as well. Then you had Digistruct Peak, which was I guess you had 10 different rounds. It was like a gauntlet. It was similar to the Chaos Chamber, but it was more bespoke, and you were dealing like, it was almost like a boss rush. You know, you had arenas you were going through, that then you had you had bosses that you had visited in the main campaigns that you then, you know, were fighting again. And you had to go through you had to get all the way through. So you'd have the tier 1 activity, and this is how you set up what was called OP levels, so overpowered levels, which is what is mayhem levels in Borderlands 3 effectively. So you had, you had to clear the entire thing before you could then do the OP2 version, and so on and so forth. And they all were bespoke, had their own sequence of enemies and bosses
Oh, that was wretched.
to go through, and they were pretty tough. You know, you got sort of smarter at doing it, and as you got certain bits of gear, it sort of made it easier. But they were a good challenge. They were good endgame content. To not see something like that in Borderlands 3 or anything since has been disappointing. The things like the Chaos Chamber and the DLC content for this, you know, are in that direction, but it's not as good. And I really was expecting an expanding on that rather than a stepping back. Now, I don't know if I'm crazy or you're crazy, but that to me looked like it wasn't 3 sharks. And then when I shot it, it changed to a shark. And that is going to mess with my feeble little mind. I will check that on the rewind, but tell me what you saw. Right, anyway, that's going to be that fairly long spew of information over, because we are just in and enjoying this. But this is definitely in the right direction, and you want to see more of this, but Wonderlands was just let down with not having more of the kind of main meat of the content. It needed this endgame stuff on top of that, and it was a real shame to not see that included. Right, what we got? But yeah, being back in here and revisiting this, I am noticing how much good stuff there is, despite my issues. And it feels fantastic, plays fantastic. All I really want is more. I think I did my 2 chests in this one. It's a shame it doesn't have a little counter up for that, but that is a very, very sort of side objective. So this should be the boss room now. Yeah. Get powered up with some tea. Shake it off. And apparently... Oh, that'll be my myth rank stuff, which, if I'm honest, is just a load of spammed stuff. I'm not going to look at that right now. Okay. Wish me luck. I think we'll be fine on the basis of how much easier that's been so far. Yeah, so you get this guy, and there's your standard arena affair. Other people are going to drop in. He's got some pretty cool kind of weather-based or watery-based attacks. I really like his little maid's hat. Not sure why that's the choice, but... you know, what I was saying about me being fine with this. Let's try that blue cake out. Is this something I should be trying to aim direct or going on the explosion? Either way, that's been a doddle. Sadly, a bit too easy when this is the hardest mode, level 40 in the game. Unless I went into this and it put it on a lower mode? No, it should just be level 40. And it was just base difficulty, but that should have been... That should have been 10 times harder. I mean, I guess a lot of this gear that I've got is probably very good, even though I spent quite a lot of time in this when it first came out, when I knew what stuff was. But it's still, I still think it should have been 10 times harder, because they should be well aware of what gear is available and what sort of, you know, a lot of people are going to be running at the point that an activity of this became available. And it's not like I've been playing this for a year. I played this when it came out, and I pretty much haven't touched it since now, so I should be behind the trend. But you got to see that what was there. So then now this pops up, and they are added to the Chaos Chamber, so that will give more variety over there, which is very cool. And then now if I go onto here, I now have the opportunity to do the difficulty 2 of the activity, and so, you know, I'll be able to just do that all the way up till the 4th one, and then you can pick them as you please. And I guess the harder the version, you should be just getting a little bit more on the rewards. On that one, we have accumulated 106 lost souls, so we got 4 spins and 6 spare. So I'll just chuck some gear out of my pockets real quick, and then we'll do those spins and see what we get. I'm just going to stick a few random things. I probably don't even have any vault space either. That said full. Oh no, I have space. It looks like I've got some trash in there as well that I'm going to have to go through at some point. So I've got a blue cake on me, so whatever this is, we will deposit those. Do we see any other duplicates? Bread. Bread. 511, I know. Okay, check the lower one. Bread. Check that. I guess I'm only going to be using the clothes I have on for the moment. Those are lower levels, let's chuck those. Probably don't need 2 pickaxes, and they look to be exactly identical. Those look to be exactly identical. Apparently I have lots of identical items. Oh, I didn't see that earlier. Let me check that one out. Those look the same. They're not. Okay, well, I made a bit more space, and I'll leave all that for the moment. Just see if we get any good stuff, because I presume there must be stuff that is specific to this activity. Not that I remember what those are. However, I did get a very cool shotgun, which I think probably is just tied to this. So I'm going to be looking out for that, and it's got the sort of dark energy kind of shots. And okay, I got some stuff here that don't have 2 items. That's good. It fires like a dark energy style shot, but it doesn't have the sideways shots or anything like a conference call, but it kind of has the vibe of a conference call. The shot goes very very far and forward, and quite a nice spread on the shotgun. And then the reload on that, because it's a feed, like the TDR style. What is it they called, a Ferrior on this? I can't even remember what they call it. Yeah, Ferrior. I don't know why they would be Ferrior? Ferrior, I don't know. Whatever the pun is there that's going over my head, but it's that type. So when you reload, you chuck it out. Okay, so that didn't actually give us too much. We've got a ring there. When you chuck it out, it throws out the like a D12. It throws out like a Dungeons and Dragons, like the dice, and it's just like a big red dice, basically a huge one that you throw out, and it just bounces a little bit and then blows up. But it's kind of fun. It seemed like it did quite a good amount of damage, so I was enjoying using that, and it seemed quite effective on some of the bosses. Let's just see if we can find what that ring was. It should be... oh, no, it's a necklace? So I don't even know what I'm picking up. Okay. And then we got some cosmetic bits there I haven't had yet. So we'll go and have a look at those as well. Yeah, I guess it was that necklace. Yeah, not paying attention at all. See, someone like me can just absolutely sprint through that activity, not having a single thought in my empty little brain. So we picked up there some new eyeliner. Ooh. Though I didn't see which one that was. That's quite cool. I like that. I'm going to stick with my lightning vibe on this. And then we got... oh, that's an interesting one. Okay, that's a bit different. These will all be the same, but I'm just going to see what they look like on the armor. That's actually quite nice. Oh, actually, I might run that. That's quite annoying how it resets and pulls you up. Let's just do that for a little mix-up. That's obviously the same. Armor pattern. Oh, we got like a scale. That's pretty cool. Quite like that. Not for this character, but I will maybe use that on someone else. Okay, so that's our first little look